Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss about infection control into the hospital. So first we will define what do you mean by infection. So the definition of infection is it is entry and multiplication of microorganisms into the tissues of host. That means when the microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, parasites they are entering into the person's body and they are multiplying there and leading to some local and the systemic changes into the person health. That means the person is having some shortage of infection. Now we will discuss what are the types of infection. So infection, these are of different type. One is primary infection, secondary infection, local infection, systemic infection, nosocomial infection, iatrogenic infection, acute infection, and chronic infection. These are of different type. We will discuss one by one. So now first we will discuss what do you mean by primary infection. Primary infection, it is the initial infection with an organism to the host, from an organism to the host. That means person is not having any disorder or any other illness. It is the initial infection. So that will be primary. Secondary infection means that the person is having pre-existing disease condition or any infection, and the person is more susceptible leading to the infection. That means the person is having multiplication of bacteria along with some other disease condition. That will be the secondary infection. Local infection, it is limited to a defined area. For example, in some area on the hand or over the leg, over the abdomen, maybe the person is showing some redness, some tenderness or hardness of the skin or swelling. If it is in a defined area or in a local area, that will be the local infection. Next is systemic infection. That means infection is spreading to the whole body or even the circulation. That will be the systemic infection. That is also known as that the person is having septicemia. That means infection into the blood circulation. That will be septicemia. Next is acute infection. Acute infection means that infection will appear suddenly. It will appear suddenly and last for a short duration. For example, person is having common cold. That means the common cold is existing 3 to 5 days. So if it is existing or appearing suddenly and for a short duration, we will call as acute infection. So the next is chronic infection. Chronic infection means that the person is having infection but it may lead to month to year. The person is having infection from a long period of time. That will be chronic infection. Next type of infection is iatrogenic infection. Iatrogenic infection is because of diagnostic and therapeutic procedure. For example, nurse is performing IV injection or giving IV injection and she is not maintaining aseptic precaution. So some of the bacteria they will inserted into the person's body with the help of diagnostic or therapeutic measures. So this infection we will call as a iatrogenic infection. Next is nosocomial infection. Nosocomial infection is also known as hospital acquired infection. That means After admission of 72 hours into the hospital, the person is developing or showing signs and symptoms of infection. So that will be the nosocomial infection. So the types of infection is primary infection, secondary infection, local infection, systemic infection, acute infection, chronic infection, nosocomial infection, and iatrogenic infection. Now we will discuss about chain of infection. Chain of infection, why it is important? Because only microorganism is not causing the illness. If there is any interaction between agent, host and environment, if the interaction between agent, host and environment is taking place, that may lead to infection. If there is interaction, if only agent is present, there will be no interaction with the host, so the agent cannot able to multiply or grow, so the infection will not occur. If the host is having high immunity, the person is immunized, taking good diet and doing exercise and yoga, the immunity of a host is more, so the agent cannot able to give chance leading to infection in an individual. If there is proper environment, that is adequate light, ventilation and temperature for the growth of the bacteria or the microorganisms, if it is not proper, so the agent cannot able to grow. So there should be a interaction between agent, host and environment for the multiplication or leading to infection. So the chain of infection, it includes 6 steps. So this is the chain of infection having 6 steps. One is agent, second is reservoir, third is portal of exit, fourth is mode of transmission, fifth is portal of entry, and sixth is susceptible host. We will discuss one by one. What do you mean by agent? Agent, these are the bacteria, virus, fungi, protozoa or microbes that enter into the person body and leading to changes into the individuals. Second is reservoir. Reservoir means the place where these agents they can reside or they can multiply. It includes like human beings, uncontaminated object, inanimate object where they can able to multiply. Inanimate object, animal. So these are the reservoir. Third is portal of exit. How the agent it is coming outside into the environment. So this we will call as portal of exit. The agent it will come outside with the help of either sputum or with the help of emesis or vomiting, or with the help of stool or blood samples, urine samples. So any discharge from the person's body or any secretion from the person's body, that will be the portal of exit. Next is the mode of transmission, that after exiting, how it is transmitted from one individual to the next individual, that will be the mode of transmission. How it is transmitted. So the mode of transmission, it will be contact, or it will be airborne, it will be vector borne, helminthic borne. So these are the various mode of transmission, how it is transmitted. Next is portal of entry, how it is entering into the person body. Either it will enter through the mucous membrane, through the skin, through the GI tract when the person is eating the food, through the GU system, that is genitourinary system, or through the respiratory tract or respiratory system. These are the portal of entry. Next is the susceptible host. Susceptible host is any individual which is having capability to in multiplication of the agent. For example, it includes mainly the vulnerable population. Vulnerable population means the population which is at risk, that will be included. For example, the children, the old age people, handicapped children, mentally retarded children. physically retarded children, all these are included into the susceptible host. Or the person who is having disease like diabetes, hypertension and some other illness the person is having, that will be included into the susceptible host. So this was the chain of infection. The chain of infection, it is representing how the bacteria or the agent is entering into the person's body and how it is causing disease or infection in any individual. Now we will discuss how we can able to prevent the infection. So first we will define what do you mean by infection prevention. Infection prevention, what it means, it refers to the policies. Infection prevention means refers to policies or the procedures. Policies or the procedure that a nurse has to perform to minimize spread of infection. To minimize spread of infection. That means we are following some policies or the procedure so that the risk of infection or the rate of infection, it can be controlled or it can be reduced. That will be infection prevention. For infection prevention, what we have to do, we have to break the chain of infection so that if the chain is not complete, the infection will not occur into the person body. So what we will do, we will break the chain at each and every step. So the first step is agent breakdown. How you will break the agent? First, for breakdown of agent, what we have to do, we have to do rapid and accurate identification. Rapid and accurate identification of organism. How you will do rapid identification? By culture sensitivity of blood, urine, stool. Second is culture sensitivity of endotracheal tube sample, endotracheal tube tip or suction sample, or some other areas like central tip samples. So you can able to identify which organism is growing into the person body so that you can able to give the treatment accordingly. Second thing is you have to do cleaning, disinfection and sterilization of object or instruments. The cleaning is done with water and the detergent powder. Disinfection of article. For disinfection, we are having different type of disinfectant. One is high level disinfectant, second is low level disinfectant. The high level disinfectant means it includes glutaraldehyde, sodium hypochlorite, carbolic solution and bleaching powder. These are the high level disinfectant. And low level disinfectant include spirit, that is ethanol, isopropyl alcohol. It includes 70% of ethanol, betadine solution and Savlon. These are the low level of disinfectant. Third is sterilization. Sterilization means killing the bacteria along with spores. That will be sterilization. It can be done as a dry method. Dry method includes with the help of ionizing radiation like gamma rays, X-rays. These are the ionizing radiation. With the help of autoclaving machine, at which temperature is used for autoclaving machine is 121 degrees Celsius for 15 to 20 minutes. Sterilization is also known as, or autoclaving is also known as, steam under high pressure. That is steam under high pressure. So with these two methods, that is rapid and accurate identification of organism, second is control of the agent, you can able to break the chain at the agent level. Second, we will see how you can able to break the chain on the second step. Second step is reservoir. Reservoir, it may be human being, animal, any rats or any inanimate object. So the health of reservoir or health of employees, it is very important. So how you can able to maintain the health of employees with the help of immunization. For example, person is having an infection, TT immunization and other vaccinations are also given in the immunization schedule, like hepatitis B vaccination. Second thing is regular checkup of the employees. If they are having any infection, they can able to take the treatment so the infection will not occur into the severe stage. Third thing is restriction from the work. If the person is having any infection like common cold, person cannot able to work in the ICU. That is restriction from the work if person is having communicable disease. Person is having communicable disease. Communicable disease are the disease that are spreading from one person to the other person. Second thing, how you can able to break the chain on the reservoir. One is maintain the health of the employee. Second is environmental sanitation. Because in environment or from the inanimate object, the bacteria, viruses, they are spreading from one person to another person. So you have to clean the environment, that is cleaning of environment with the help of disinfectant. Second is cleaning of equipment that are present into the hospital. Third is do not do dry dusting, do damp dusting. Damp dusting is the wet dusting. Fourth thing is the drainage, they should be patent. Drainage, they should be patent. Third point for control of reservoir is handling of linen. Handling of linen means keep the bed sheets dry. Keep the bed sheet dry and clean. Second is change the sheets every day. Change the bed sheets in the hospital every day. Third thing is do not shake blanket. Do not shake blanket or any linen. Do not keep the linen on floor. Do not keep the linen on floor. And the soiled linens, they will be kept separate. Soiled linens, they should be kept separate. Fourth point is pest control. That means proper cleaning and proper drainage seal should be there, so that the pests like mouse and these are also working as a reservoir. Animals are also working, so the proper cleaning and sealing and drainage should be there. All the things, they should be kept in a covered container. Pesticide spray should be done should be done weekly. Next is visitor controls. Visitor control. For visitor control, there should be restricted visiting hours, one attendant at a time. One attendant at a time. Doors and windows closed. Machines like X-ray, CT scan, they should be clean with spirit after use. So you can able to break the chain for the reservoir side by promoting the health of the individual or health of the employee. Second is the environmental sanitation. Third is the handling of linen. Fourth is pest control. Fifth is the visitor control. Now we will see how you can able to control the infection or the third step. Third step is portal of exit. So you have to break the chain at portal of exit. At portal of exit, maintain aseptic precaution. That means wearing of sterile gloves, cleaning, washing hand, these should be maintained. Maintaining aseptic precaution while performing any procedure. Second is covering of mouth, face, for example with the help of mask. Third thing is when the person or healthcare professional they are dealing with waste like urine, stool, feces, blood or vomiting, so they have to wear gloves. If any blood samples they are infected, use PPE or gloves. Any spillage of blood is there, so wear PPE, that is personal protective equipment, that is gown, mask, gloves, goggles, shoe cover, head cap. These are the PPE that a nurse has to wear if she is handling with the spillage of blood or any other body secretions. Now breaking the chain on the fourth step, that is mode of transmission. So mode of transmission, either it was contact or it was airborne or it was a droplet infection. So you have to break the chain on this mode of transmission. For contact transmission, so there should be a single patient room. That means one patient should be living in one room. Second is performing hand hygiene. Wearing of PPE, that is gown, gloves, mask and apron. Next is clean the equipments of a person after use. So you can able to break the chain on mode of transmission. For airborne transmission, there should be a single patient. Wearing of mask, it is important. Teach the patient about cough etiquettes. That means whenever the person is having coughing, the person has to cover the mouth. Limit the patient into the room if there is any communicable disease that is related to airborne. Wear N95 mask. Door, it should be closed. Same things the nurse has to follow if a person is having droplet mode of transmission also. So we can able to break the chain on the level 4, that is mode of transmission. Now we will discuss how we can able to break the chain on the 5th level, that is portal of entry. Maintaining skin integrity. Maintaining skin integrity or skin hygiene or maintaining integrity of mucous membrane. For example, if there is any breakdown of integrity, that may lead to growth of bacteria. So we have to apply moisturizer. Apply moisturizer over the skin. If the person is lying down on the bed, so turning position of the patient if the patient is in ICU or patient is bedridden. Proper positioning of the tubings if a person is having position of tubings or any catheter, it should be fixed. Personal hygiene. Proper disposable of waste. According to biomedical waste management. Proper drainage system or handling of specimen with proper care. Sixth step is breaking the chain at the sixth level, that is at the level of susceptible host. So you have to protect the susceptible host. Host is any person where an agent it is entering and multiplying. That will be the host. That is having more capacity leading to a disease. So we have to protect the health of a person. How you will protect? Once the person is having normal defense mechanism. Second is normal balanced diet. Third is vaccination or immunization. Fourth is personal hygiene. Next is personal hygiene include oral hygiene, bed bath, urinary hygiene, adequate intake of fluid. Next point is encourage the person regarding deep breathing exercise. Healthy lifestyle. That means the person has to eat a normal healthy diet. Person has to go for exercise or yoga for some time. Release stress by meditation or some other music therapy and other therapy. So this was related with how we can able to control infection in a hospital. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe my YouTube channel for more videos. Thank you.